recording and let's
When
go
is the
on.
assignment due?
The assignment is always due the next day. Okay. But technically speaking, you can turn in the assignments later for full credit, but let's make a habit of getting the assignments done. And also, for those who are new to the class, one good thing about hopefully you will think of this as a good thing. We will take care of all the assignments in class. In other words, if you come to the class and participate, you will be done with assignments. Okay? So I hope this will give you a little bit of an added incentive to come to the class every day. We will meet in class every day from Tuesday through Friday, every day, except Monday, where Monday is going to be more of a office hour where you can come in and get some extra help. Okay. So we worked on solving equations. I'm not going to talk about that. This is the assignment from Friday, and I hope you were able to turn that in. Today we will start working on reflections. Okay. And this is a pretty typical first topic in geometry, and we will talk about that. Okay. Today we are going to work on 4 reflections. Okay. Now, so this is kind of hard to copy everything down, isn't it? But I want you to do the best you can to copy this down. And so for you, if I were you, I want you to do this. I don't want you to be spending too much time on copying this graph, but I want you to copy 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That. I want you to write this. Okay. So I will give you 1 minute to catch up on the copying down the graph. We'll get started. Okay, let me open up the chat. Does everybody have the graph?
I'm writing down the graph, Mr. Takara.
Right. Very good. So first reflection is, it's called a reflection on x-axis. Okay. I guess we need to write this down too. Reflection on x-axis. What it means is this. You guys know where x-axis is? X-axis, let's write this down too. It's right here. Okay. This is x-axis. And then this is the vertical one is the y-axis, isn't it? So let's write down x-axis, x and y. Okay. Now, reflection means this. You have an x-axis right here, right? And it's kind of like a plain origami paper where you fold the paper on x-axis. Now, when you fold it, where would this A be traced on the other side? And that's what reflection is. And it's going to be somewhere around here, isn't it? Okay. And the reflection, just to distinguish so that we can distinguish between the A and the new reflected location, we're going to do A prime. A dash. And that little dash, you read it as a prime. It's called the prime notation in geometry. It's just a fancy way of saying, hey, this A dash, A prime originated from the A, the original location. Okay. Now, what will be the new coordinate of A prime? Can everybody type that in the chat? What will be the new coordinate for A prime? It will be it's going to be very good. Thank you guys. It will be 4, -3, isn't it? Right? In other words, yeah, the x coordinate is still the same thing, isn't it? It's a 4 and 4. So when you reflect on an x-axis, x coordinate stays the same, but the y coordinate is going to be the opposite. If it's a 3, then it's going to be -3. So the rule is for reflection of x-axis is going to be that xy will become x and -y. Negative as in opposite. Think of a negative sign as an opposite. Okay. X will be still x, but the y will be opposite y. So for example, okay, so if you have, so there's a 4 and 3 will be 4 and -3. Does that make sense? If you have different coordinate, let's say this is completely different, -5 and -2. So it's -5 and -2. It's right here, isn't it? Okay. Where will be the new location for that? Well, x coordinate is going to be the same. So it's still going to be -5. But the y coordinate is going to be what? It's going to be opposite of a y. Since y is a -2, so the opposite will be +2. Yeah, does that make sense, guys? So this is the first reflection on x-axis. And the rule says x coordinate stays the same, but the y coordinate is going to be opposite. Okay. You guys okay so far? Okay. Does anybody need any more time to copy this down? Okay. Just please let me know. Okay. I have no idea where you guys are. I'm able to peek into your notebook and see how well you're keeping up with it. So just let me know. Just type it in. Need more time. Wait. Stop. Just let me know. Okay. You're not being rude. Just, yeah. Okay. You guys okay? Can we move on? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Reflection on y-axis. So again, don't try to do all the lines on the graph, okay? Don't do that. That will take a long time. Just draw x-axis and then let's draw the y-axis. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I want you to locate 3, 5. You guys ready? Now, this time it's reflection of y-axis. That means we're going to fold the paper on y-axis like that, okay? Now, where would this 3, 5 gonna be traced on? It will be traced on the other side on the y-axis, isn't it? Okay. In other words, this will be, in other words, when you fold the paper on this y-axis, a dot and dot should match perfectly. It should meet, okay? It should meet perfectly. And that's where that new location, that's where A prime is. Now, what is the coordinate of A prime? And can you figure out the rule for A prime of Y reflection on Y axis? Do you guys want to type it in? What do you think is the coordinate for A prime? It will be, it's -3 and 5, isn't it? Right? So what does that mean? It means that this time x coordinate is going to be opposite, okay? If it's a 3, it becomes -3, okay? And then the y coordinate, 5 and 5, it stays the same, isn't it? So y coordinate will just stay the same. Okay, and that's the reflection of y-axis. So for example, I've got 2 examples, okay? If you have a coordinate 4, 3, what is the new coordinate of 4, 3 on reflection on y-axis? It will become x coordinate will be the opposite, so it will be -4, and then the y coordinate will stay the same, so it will be just 3. Does it make sense? How about another example, -5 and 2, this one right here? What will be the new coordinate for -5 and 2? It will become -5 will be the opposite. So it has to be +5. And then the 2 will just stay the same, right? Y coordinate will stay the same. So it will just become 2. So it will be 5, 2. That will be the new location. Yeah, does that make sense? So this is the reflection on y-axis. Okay. Does anybody need more time on copying this down? Okay. Is anybody still in PJ pajama by any chance? Is anybody still being bed? That would be interesting. Yeah. Are you guys writing on this? Writing this? Copying this down? Or are you just laying down on that and just watching your, listening to me on cell phone or something? No. I'm saying this because I've seen my kids doing that before. I just peeked into my son's room and he's still in bed. He has cell phone. I'm listening. All right. Can we move on? The third one, it's a reflection on y equals x. Now, what does that mean, right? We're not gonna do some this algebra here, but y equals x, if you graph that, is this 45-degree line. So that's y equals x. So in other words, this time we're going to fold the paper diagonally, okay, like this, in an angle. And so we need to be able to find a trace the point. For example, let's say you've got right here. So A is 4, 1, okay? Now, where would A prime be if you fold the paper diagonally? Where would the A be traced onto the other side of the line, diagonal line? Do you think A would be like right here? Do you think if you fold the paper, do you think A and the A prime, do you think they will match? No, I don't think so, right? It's not going to match because you're folding diagonally like this. Yeah, where do you think a new location is going to be? Again, this is the folding line right here, this green line. That's a, you fold it. Don't you think it's going to be like somewhere around here? So you just kind of tilt your head sideways. Don't they match? As a matter of fact, isn't it gonna be right there? Do you think that will match? Does everybody agree? So the A prime is going to be, the new location is gonna be what? What's the coordinate? Thank you, two of you guys, Jeanette and Jessica. That's correct. Anybody else? What do you think is A prime? It's going to be 1, 4, isn't it? Yeah, Elizabeth, thank you. Yeah. So what's the rule? If you have an X and Y coordinate, original coordinate, what will be the new coordinate? It's gonna be, you just switch around, isn't it? Okay. So the new X coordinate is gonna be Y coordinate of the original. And the new Y coordinate is gonna be X coordinate from the original point. So you basically switch around. Does that make sense? But the sign stays the same. It's just switch around. So that's going to be easy, right? So the example will be if original location is a 4, 3, what will be the new location? It's going to be 3, 4. You just switch around. If the original coordinate is -5 and 2, what do you think is going to be the new location? It's going to be 2, -5. You just switch around. Very good, guys. Yeah, does that make sense? This is the reflection on y equals x, which is that diagonal line. And we just have one more to go, okay? So bear with me, guys. So I'm going to give you a minute to catch up on writing. Okay, is everybody ready to move on? The last reflection is on if you need, does anybody need to see any part of the notes for reflections?
Can you go back to the first one?
First one. Okay, if you have come into the class late, then you just need to take a picture of it and then because we need to move on. Okay. So this is the first one. So take a picture of that. Here's the B, reflection on y-axis. Okay. Yeah, so Logan, I'm glad you made it, okay? But yeah, you can also watch the video I'm recording right now of this class. So you will be able to watch that later. And then here's a reflection on y equals x. That's okay. I'm glad you made it. Okay, that's what it's important. It's always better to come to the class than just not come at all. Okay, even if it's the last 20 minutes of a class, just come to the class. Okay, I'm speaking to everybody. Okay, here's the last one. Reflection on y equals -x. Now, what is that? Y equals -x is actually the another diagonal line, but it's the opposite of a y equals x. So that's y equals -x. Okay. So let's locate just like, go, maybe we'll right here. Let's do this one. Here is A, and which is 2, 4. Now, where do you think is going to be A prime? It's somewhere down there, isn't it? It's somewhere around here, isn't it? Would you agree with that? Just a rough estimate. Where do you think it's going to be? I mean, it cannot be over here. Again, you're folding the paper on the diagonal line. Okay. You're going to be folding right here, right? So that this is going to be somewhere around here, isn't it? Okay. So it's going to be, that's right, it is going to be -4 and -2. Right there. A prime is going to be -4 and -2. Yeah, not +2. Would you agree with that? -4 and +2, that would be up here. That's not going to work out, does it? Okay. But -4, -2. That's all right. So what's the rule for the reflection of y equals -x? First, original was 2 and 4. Now it became -4 and -2. In other words, x and y, first of all, it switches. And then both of them are opposite, right? So it will be opposite of a y becomes the new x coordinate. Opposite of x is going to be the new y coordinate. Yeah. How are you guys doing so far? Okay. So if you have a coordinate, let's say 4 and 3, what will be the new coordinate? Well, first you switch around and you make both of number opposite side. So it will be -3 and -4. Yeah. Very good, Julian. How about -5 and 2? What would be the new coordinate of a -5 and 2? This one right here. It will become, first you switch around and it becomes -2 because the original was 2. And then the new coordinate was -5 becomes +5. Okay. Yeah, does that make sense? So you gotta switch around and then the signs are gonna be different. Both number. That's what this rule, that's what that means. Okay. So that's the 4 reflections. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to catch up on writing. And then let's do some assignment together. Again, we finish all that, we do all the assignments in class, okay? So if you come to the class, you're gonna be done with the assignment. You don't have to worry about it, working on it by yourself outside of a class. You guys ready for the assignment? If you have a printer accessible to you nearby and be able to print it out, you can do that. You want a break? You need to go to the bathroom. Okay, why don't you go to the bathroom? I'll wait for you. Just take a break, take a drink of water, sip of water. So again, I'll just leave it. We'll get started in 30 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna get a cup of water too. All right, are you guys all back? So here's the assignment. You don't need to print this out, but if you do want to print out, or if you have a printer accessible to you, you can do that. It makes it a little bit easier, but you don't need it. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do. Don't copy down the diagram, okay? But I'm gonna show you what I need you to do. Okay, you guys all ready? So the first, let's identify the coordinate. What is the coordinate of E? It is, you always come from here, origin. Yeah, and then you go 1, 2, 3. It's always the X coordinate first. It's a 3, and then you go 1 down. So it's a 3, -1, isn't it? Okay. And so I want you to write that. And then what I want you to do is, I want you to come up with the new coordinate, E prime, okay? What will be, yeah, so we don't need to do the graph. Just watch the graph, but I want you to write this, okay? Because copying down the diagram, it takes just too long and not necessary. If you want to do that, that'll be good. That'll be fine too. But now, what will be the new coordinate for E prime? Now, remember, this is reflection of x-axis. Okay. That means you're folding the paper on x-axis, which is right here. So if you fold the paper, where will be the new location for E? It's just going to be right here, isn't it? Okay. It's going to be 3, 1. Okay. And that's what we did, right? When we talked about it is x coordinate stays the same, but the y coordinate becomes opposite. That's reflection of x-axis. Okay. So that's the rule. So it's going to be 3 and 1. Next, let's do k. What's the coordinate of a k right here? So everybody write it down. What's the coordinate of k? It is, again, you always start from origin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, -3. It's a 4, -3. Yeah, are you okay with that, Julian? So 4, -3. What is going to be k prime?
So they switch, right?
Yeah. So what's going to be, is it Julian, right? Julian, and what would be the new coordinate?
Looks
So
like it's
the-
gonna be -4.
Remember, you see right here, the previous question, x coordinate stays the same, right? 3, new location is all still 3. So 4, it's going to be still 4. Yeah. But then for the y coordinate, -1 became just 1. So y coordinate is always opposite. X coordinate, still the same thing. So it's going to be 4, 3. You okay with that? Let's try another one. H. H is right here. What is the coordinate of H, first of all? H is, let's clean that up. Again, you always come from right here, origin. You go -1. Always the x-axis first. So it's -1. And then you go 1, 2, 3, -4. So it's -1, -4. Okay. Now, Julian, is that the new H prime coordinate? What will be the H prime? Well, the -1 still stay the same. X coordinate stays the same.
-1 and 4.
But the y coordinate will be the opposite. Because it's -4, so it's going to be +4 for the new location. Thank you, Karina. Appreciate that. Okay, so that's reflection on x-axis. And if you locate that, you don't need to do this, but if you do that, 3, 1, 4, 3, and then -1, 4. Now you've got new triangle. If you fold the paper on the purple line, x-axis, do you think those two triangles will match perfectly on top of each other? I think it will, right? So this is the reflection on x-axis. Let's do y-axis, okay? You guys with me? Number 2. Let's start with B. What is the coordinate of a B right here? Yeah, it's a little small, isn't it? So B will be, again, you come from origin, you go 1, 2, 3, -4, and then 1, 2, 3 up. So it's a -4 and 3. Okay. Now, this time we're going to fold the paper on y-axis. This is the reflection on y-axis. Okay. So that location will be somewhere over here, isn't it? Isn't this a B prime? Yeah. So B prime is going to be, what would that be? It will be, it's going to be 4, 3. In other words, this time x coordinate is going to be the opposite. If it's -4, it becomes 4. Okay. But then the y coordinate, 3, is still 3. Y coordinate stays the same. So let's try another one. R. Julian, can you tell me what the coordinate for R? Let's clean this up.
Looks like it's 4 and so it goes
Yeah, it's gonna be -1, -2, -3, right? It's gonna be -3,
-3 and 4.
-3, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Very good. -3 and 4. Perfect. Now, what is going to be R prime? Yeah, very good, Jessica. Anybody else? Would you agree with that, with the Jessica? Yeah, Logan, very good. The x coordinate is going to be opposite. So -3 becomes +3. And then the y coordinate just still stays the same. So it will be 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So that's R prime. Last one, T. You guys want to try that all by yourself? What is the coordinate for T? T is going to be, it's -2 and 2. And T prime, thank you, Lisbeth. T prime is going to be +2 and 2. It's right there. Yeah. So now they will match perfectly on y-axis. Okay, what do you guys think? Are you guys getting the hang of this? Okay. So here's the reflection on y-axis. Okay. All right, let's move on. Number 3. Again, you don't need to copy the diagram. Oh. So this is a y equals x. Let's actually do just 3 letters, H, L, and P. Okay, let's not worry about Q. Don't worry about that. Let's start with H. Okay, everybody tell me, what is the coordinate of H?
No way. No way. Oh my gosh.
The coordinate of H will be -2 to -2 and 3, right? -2 and 3. You okay with that? Because you go 1, 2, -2, and then 1, 2, 3. Now, what will be the H prime? Now, let's review the rule. It's in your notes right here. Here's a rule. The rule is xy becomes yx. You basically switch the number around. That's it. It's really actually easy. Okay. So that's reflection on y equals x. You just switch the number. So if this is 2 and 3, -2 and 3, the H prime is going to be, boom, just switch around. That's right. 3, -2. Yeah, does that make sense? How about L? Let's do L. Can you try this by yourself? I'm gonna give you 1 minute. What's the coordinate of L? What is the new coordinate of L, L prime? Okay, it's been a minute. Now, first of all, L is going to be, you don't really go left or right. It's a 0, isn't it? So it's an X coordinate is a 0. And then Y coordinate is 2. It's a 0, 2. Did you guys get that? Okay. And then the new location is you just switch around. So it's going to be 2, 0. Great job, Logan, Julian, Lisbeth. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Let's just do one more time. P. Okay, can you try that? And if you do have the graph, I want you to draw the graph and see if it make any sense. Now, Abigail, you go -3, and then also you go down, right? So that would be -3, -2. Does that make sense? So the P will be, let's clean this up. To find P, that's 1, 2, -3, and then you go down to 1, 2, -2. So it's -3, -2. Okay. And then the new location is going to be, you just switch around. That's it. So it will be -2, -3. So if you do that, it's 3, -2, that's H prime. 2, 0, that's L prime. -2. I don't want to go be with your business. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm really lazy. Yeah. No, I'll help you after I'm done. I don't want to. All right. How did it go, guys? Okay, let's work on the last one, a reflection on y equals -x, okay? Which is this diagonal line. We're going to fold the paper this way, okay? But let's identify, let's just do 3 locations. Let's just do S, A, T, okay? So let's do S. I'm just gonna do 3 coordinates. Yeah, so let's review the rule for y equals -x, which was, and it should be in your notes too, right? Now here's the rule for y equals -x right here. The rule states x and y becomes -y and -x. In other words, you switch around, and then both number is going to be opposite flips. You switch around, both number flips. That's the rule for the reflection on y equals negative x. Can you remember that? So for S, let's identify the coordinate. S is going to be, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, right? It's a 4, 2. So what will be the new location? You're gonna switch, and then both are opposite sign. So it's gonna be -2, -4. Switch around and then flip the sign. Very good, Jessica. Now, how about A? What's the coordinate for A? Is everybody with me? A will be, you're doing the opposite. You always do the x coordinate first. It's the sideway first. 1, 2, 3, right? It's a 3 and then 1 down. So 3, -1. Yeah. Now, what would be the new location for A prime? You switch around, and then you opposite sign. So this one is -1 goes to the x coordinate, but you flip the sign, so it's going to be +1, -3. Yeah. Let's try T. What is the coordinate for T? You can't see. T will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -2. Yeah. 5, -2. And then what will be the T prime? Switch the number. Both number becomes opposite. -2 become +2. 5 becomes -5. So you switch around. So it becomes 2, -5. So if you were to graph that, -2, -4, that's S prime. A prime will be 1, -3. That's A prime. And then T prime is 2, -5. I'm just using the 3 dots. Okay. That looks pretty good. So we just went through all the 4 reflections reflection on the x-axis, reflection on y-axis, reflection on x equals y, y equals x, and then the reflection on y equals negative x. Okay. What do you guys think? Scale of 1 to 5. 5 being, hey, I've got this. 1 being, I don't get this. Where are you? Everybody tell me in the chat. 5, anybody feeling like a 3 or even 2? Yeah, you feel good about this? Yeah? You need a little practice, maybe? Okay. Well, we'll continue to practice this, okay? Tomorrow we are going to do what's called a translation. We did a reflection today, but tomorrow we're going to do translation, okay? Which is actually a lot easier than I think today's reflection. So anyway, but that's all I have. But if you have any questions, please stick around. Please make sure that you take a picture of your work and then turn it in right now, okay? Don't wait till later. Let's make sure that you take a picture of this, your work, not my work, okay, your work, and then let's turn it in. No, let's not worry about the quiz. Okay. So this is all I have for today. Again, please turn in the assignments in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And if you have any questions, please stay and you can talk to me. Have a great day, guys.
Hey, how do we turn it in?
Yeah. So this is Andrew. Yeah, have you ever taken a picture of your work and then submit your picture in Canvas? Have you done something like that before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, okay. No problem. So do you have a Canvas? Are you accessible to?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's go to modules. And then do you see the assignment 1.2? Now, when you go to modules and assignment 1.2, okay, let me show you. So you go to modules. To the student view. Okay, this is what it should look like. And if you go to 1.2, you see right here on the right upper side of the screen, right here, submit assignment. And then you click that, you can upload the your picture in it, okay? Now, how do you do that? There are a couple of ways to do this. You can, well, do you have a cell phone with you, Andrew? Do you have a cell phone?
Yeah, I do got a cell phone.
So you take a picture, right, of your notebook, your work, okay, your notes, the assignment. And then, I don't know if your pictures are all saved in Google Drive or, I don't know, what can you do? There are a couple of ways. If you have Google picture. You can retrieve that. You can send it to your email, and then you can retrieve it to your computer. There are a couple of different ways. Another way is you can download Canvas app on your phone. And then it's kind of a little bit of a process to set it up, but you choose Salem Kaiser School District, and you can actually log in on your phone to your Canvas on your phone. If you can do that, you can just take a picture on your phone and then you can just submit it through your phone. That's one way, probably the easiest way to do that.
Okay, thank you.
So Andrew, try that. If you have a problem, no big deal. You can we can talk about it tomorrow and let's figure things out. Okay. But first, I would like you to try it on your own and see if you can upload the picture to the assignment. And then if not, just let me know tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too.